Hello from chinature.com. This is Mark Josie and of course the Sifu from Yat Dragon's YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to my Yat Dragon's channel for more Taoism, Taoist magic, all of these kind of videos. Okay, so again today is also one of our special season lectures, so we'll be doing these on this big channel to get people over to the Yat Dragon's channel. Okay, so I'm just trying to get people over there. So welcome to my lesson today, and I'm going to put my flute away and we'll start today's lectures. Okay guys, so what's the topic today? Well, today I want to be myth buster. Myth buster, the mustache and stuff. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna bust a myth about this I-ching. In Mandarin is I-ching, but usually, you know, the Westerner always stick with the Mandarin version, so they always say I-ching, okay, I and then C-H-I-N-G, okay, you know that stuff. The stuff that deal with the bagwa and stuff like that. So today I'll be talking about this stuff and how divinations, or whatever you call those, fortune telling, anything like that, how those things works, and is it real or is it fake or is it just some myth, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the real side of things. Now, before we dig in, you need to understand that I don't speak Mandarin, so my words are going to be in Cantonese. And a lot of Westerners, they are like this, okay? They have this kind of heat about, oh, I like the Chinese stuff, I like Asian culture. And then all of a sudden they will think that, you know, anything Japanese and Korean and Chinese, they're the same stuff, you know? To the West, they're the same stuff. It's just like how Chinese people act. The Chinese people is like this. Oh, I like Western stuff. And then anything non-Chinese is good. Anything non-Asian, Middle East is not good. They will think like German, French, USA, Canada, they're the same stuff, okay? Anything outside of that Asia is good, okay? That's how Chinese thinks. Now the Westerners right now, they're trying to dig into a lot of these Eastern wisdom, and they basically think that everything can be mixed and, you know, everything Asian is almost the same thing. And they forgot to understand one very simple fact is the stuff that they are trying to understand right now is from ancient time. Like, let's say this theory of I-ching, okay, I-ching, the I-ching. I-ching is from Zhao Qu, that Zhao Man Wang, he invented it. And during that Zhao Qu, that time period, you know what? China don't even have the Mandarin language yet. Mandarin only kicked in a lot later. So if you're like into all these Chinese stuff and you're trying to pronounce all the word in Mandarin and trying to learn the word, well, good for you. You like Chinese. I'm happy for you. But at the same time, you know, you have to realize that the stuff back then is not done by someone who speaks Mandarin. If you actually look at all these movies and stuff coming out of China right now, they have a lot of movies talking about ancient time, ancient stories, ancient history, war, and different time zones, and they all speak Mandarin because people in China only understand Mandarin, okay? So, I mean, most of the people, and that is the official language there, Mandarin. But Mandarin only kicked in very late in history, and back then, like, when this I-ching thing is around, okay, the person who created the stuff, who wrote the book, don't speak Mandarin. Now, if you actually look at Hong Kong right now, okay, Hong Kong, I'm from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a place full of these people who speak Cantonese and some other dialect like Hakka and stuff like that. And these dialects are actually a lot more closer to the original Chinese people's dialect. It's because the outsiders invaded China and they pushed the original guys down south. So these people actually, like this original China people, they got pushed down like this. And then eventually a lot of stuff is like in Guangzhou and in Hong Kong and stuff like that. So that's right. So back then, when it's like I-ching time, okay, there's no Mandarin. And if you're trying to understand all that stuff using the Mandarin version of trying to say the word, understand the word and stuff, you will fail. Because a lot of stuff is not even by someone who speaks Mandarin. And okay, now look at Hong Kong, Cantonese, okay? We speak Cantonese in Hong Kong, and the slangs, the word that we use is totally not like how they use it in Mandarin. We both use the Chinese character. Basically, they look alike, and they really mean alike. When you read books, okay, it's fine. You can understand books. But when we are talking about like officially talking, like real life talking, our words are used differently. We have words that are understandable in Cantonese and it's not understandable in Mandarin. Mandarin also have some slang that make no sense to us in Hong Kong. So the Hong Kongese have to learn the slang from internet by communicating by like with the China people, and then oh, I see, because the word when you say it, okay, in Cantonese, it doesn't really sound like what they're trying to say, like what the slang is trying to say. But when you say it in Mandarin, now it makes sense. I get it. Now I get it. It's hard. So imagine the book of Yat Dragon. Okay, a lot of stuff when they try to translate, words that looks alike can be totally different stuff today, and you don't have that guy there telling you what it's really supposed to mean. And in history, you know what? The biggest myth is a lot of people think this Yat Dragon thing is for divination, like fortune telling. They have questions, they want to know how it's going to turn out and stuff like that. Then they will consult the book and bring the book out, and then they will do some coins divination and stuff like that, and they expect to get some kind of answers that would tell them the future, like fortune telling, okay, prediction. Now a lot of people are doing it, and they think it works. A lot of people are doing it, but you know what? Let me tell you what. The truth is, it's no different from buying yourself a bucket of fortune cookies and trying to trust the ticket there. I'm not joking. Like, it will somehow give you some kind of tips, but most of the time when people does it, most of the time it's really the person trying to interpret the thing to the way that fits the situation, which made it make sense. It doesn't make sense if you just try to randomly pick stuff, and then if someone don't know about your case and trying to do the prediction, it will sometimes work, sometimes not work, and it's kind of like that, not stable. Now why? Because the book of change, the Yat Dragon, was originally a like a summary of the knowledge or the like the observation or whatever you call that, the theory that this guy observed from the pattern of nature, and he broke down the stuff into small steps, little section, and wrote a book about the whole pattern. Okay, the pattern of like when here to here, that's the pattern. Okay, that's how it works. From 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 steps, and usually nature works like this. Okay, now this is the pattern. Like if I say usually nature always goes from before, during, and after. Okay, before, happen, and after, like that. That's the pattern. Okay, so he wrote the pattern of nature, how nature's pattern cycles. Okay, that's how it works. Now, people later on use that thing, the pattern, as a guide or as a ruler. Okay, and then they will use it for divination. But it's not that guy who invented the divination part. He have no intention of using that for divination. And the coin divination, stick divination, whatever, is not originated from there. Now, who actually started all these divination and stuff? It's the magic guys. The guys in China doing magic, like the Taoists and people doing magic, Chinese magic. You can call them Taoists or something else, okay, whatever it is. But they do magic, and that's why they will invent these methods to do divination. Now, what is divination really? Now, if you just take, like, say, a bunch of straws or some coins and just start tossing them, even you go according to the instructions today, okay, all these stuff are pretty much useless. It's like a lottery ticket. It's really useless. Because, you know why? The problem is you don't get what a divination is about. And you think that is like a random card kind of theory. It's like, oh, you do this, and somehow magically you get a result. And then you trust the result based on the popularity of this thing only. Seriously, I watch a lot of those YouTubers doing I-ching calculation and stuff. They really don't know what they're doing. All they're doing is following instruction. Step 1, step 2, step 3. They don't know why they're doing it, what they're doing, they don't know. And at the end, it all goes back to the dictionary, the book of I-ching, which is, of course, a bunch of crap written by someone translating the Chinese to English. And how accurate can that thing be? Not very accurate. A lot of stuff is already changed because they don't do direct translation because it cannot be done. And then usually the author needs to sell the book, so he will add in, tips, my comment, whatever. And then, he will have his own stuff. And while you read, basically it's like a dictionary or a reference book. Okay, so you got ticket number 23, whatever the method is, very fancy method, whatever method it is. Okay, you follow the method, you get this number, and then you play. It's like playing those math game, and then after you get this thing, now you flip the page or whatever, and you see your result. Now that is not going to be a divination because it doesn't do anything. You're just randomly going through one formula, randomly picking out one thing. Okay, so you have no intention and you don't know what is going on. You just take a bunch of stuff and try to follow instruction robotically and try to pick out something and you think that will work. Of course it won't work. And that is why a lot of people will say, oh, that's superstitious bullshit. Yeah, of course, it's not supposed to work. It's not like that. Now, if you understand the theory of what we call divination in Chinese, Chinese we call this bagwa, okay? Then you will understand why it works and why you cannot really get it to work. Now, what is divination? The theory of divination must be very, very clear. Because if not, it will be like, oh, I'm just trying to pray to the sky and hope for something to drop down. That's impossible, okay? We need to understand what we're doing. Now, if you watch my video on what is luck what is luck, or you can search up, forgot that video's name. It was a long lecture that I talk about luck. The screenshot is what the luck, okay? So you can find that. Now, that theory I talked about luck. And what is luck? If you don't understand that theory, you're not going to understand this theory right now. Your body, I'm going to go like very fast, okay? But the details, watch that one. Okay, so the theory is like this. We have a local body right here, local physical body right here, okay, physical me. Now at the same time, I have an energy body that is pretty big, okay, energy body. And then we have another body that is the energy, loose energy body. We call that the dimension 6 ling sun, okay. Now, this is the yok sun, this is the physical body. We consider this one to be in dimension 8. The Ling Sun dimension 6 is a bunch of energy, like fog-like. And it's very foggy, cloudy kind of energy. It's like a soul, okay? But it's not the soul. And then in dimension 1, we call this the Fa Sun. Okay, the Fa Sun is a big energy ball of light. Your body is like an egg shape, and it's full of energy there. Now, these bodies from 1 to 6 to 8, it will transfer and transmit energies from number 1 to fuel number 8 by using number 6 as a medium body. So the energy will go from 1 all the way to 6 and then give it to 8. And 8, when we sleep and stuff, our energy will cycle back to number 1. And it works like that. And we also have our soul. Our soul is up there. You have to go look up, and it's around the atmosphere level of this planet. So your soul is there. It's your energy there. Okay, your energy is there, and your soul is supposed to, like when you sleep. Okay, your soul will pick up energy from your local three bodies, and it will send those stuff up to your yun sun. And what is your yun sun? Your yun sun is when you go further out, okay, into the location of the planet Sun, the Sun planet, okay, that place, that place in dimension 8, you see right here, a Sun. Now you have to go there and go to dimension 1, which is a much earlier existing dimension, and it's like the same place, okay, same place, but nothing's there. Like it's not the Sun, not the solar system. Okay, it's another world. Now in that world, there's a bunch of planet-looking thing, and your Yun Sun is one of those. Okay, so your Yun Sun is what we call the spiritual essence planetary body. Now that body will get the stuff from your soul and put some stuff back to the soul and give it back to you. So when you wake up, you're full of energy again because your master control center right there is fueling your body right here. Okay, so we understand that we have different dimensions. We have 9 dimensions in total. But you can see every dimension inside there are 9. 9 and in 9. Very, very complex. Okay, now locally with your body, you have these dimensions. When you go upward to like planet and to the sun, you have more dimensions. Okay, so what is divination? Now, whenever you have something happen in your life, let's say right now I'm going to do like video talk with you. I'm going to make video, okay, and then while I make video, I'll have some kind of encounters. Maybe a cat will come to me, maybe a dog will bite my ass, something like that. Okay, anything. So whatever is going to happen, they are all happening physically in this world because there are non-physical energy pattern that happen, and then when they go through the dimension 1 to 6 and then to 8 to create the reality, what's happening in this number 8 dimension, the physical exterior dimension, what happened here is we are just doing something that corresponds to the dimension 6 and dimension 1. It's just it's like right here it happened already, but it's a pattern. Right here we're doing it out, like we're performing or demonstrating it according to the elements around us. So let's say there's a pattern, okay? The pattern is let's say, okay, we have this pattern in this dimension 1 body, okay? The pattern is it got stuck while going down to the lower section, from top to lower section, okay? So it got stuck in the middle, and then it cannot move, so it got clogged right here in the center. Now that means that your energy in the dimension 1 body is stuck in the middle right here, and it's not moving down to go into the digestive system. So the same pattern goes to this world, and then you encounter yourself. First of all, you'll feel that you're thinking right here, your head section right here, this pattern, okay? You will have trouble putting these things to your body and do it. So you will have issues. You will be clogged in the middle. So the pattern goes like this. You may have a lot of ideas and stuff, concept right here. And when you're trying to do it with your hand or moving yourself to do it, you got stuck in the middle. You don't know how to do it. And that's the pattern. And then when this actually happened to your life or other things, and you will see the same pattern going on. For example, if you want to do a project with your friend, and this pattern occurs. Now what happened is you and your friend might have a lot of ideas together and you plan and stuff. And then when you guys start to like, okay, let's go out today at 12 p.m. and do it. Now, when it's the time you're trying to go out, a lot of things will come in and block you two from meeting up. A lot of things, a lot of hiccups, depending on how the pattern is like. And then so the later stage cannot happen. You see, it's all a corresponding thing. First of all, the dimension one, the pre-heaven dimension, all it got is a bunch of energy flowing through a very simple system. And the system operates like so. Now your D6 body, the energy body, the foggy energy body in this post-heaven dimension. Now this D6 body brings the energy over, and then your D8 right here, the physical body, will execute. So we got the power to execute it according to our brain, how our brain process. So as you can see, that this is a pattern given to us, and we can process to see how to execute the pattern. You can execute the pattern better to make the result better. If, let's say, okay, the pattern is not going to be good because, you see, we have this clock problem and such. Now, when it comes to me, I can make the decision. I can make the decision to maybe get the friend out at a better time, or this month I'm not going to get, like this 2 days, I'm not going to get him out. I'm going to, I'm going to meet him maybe 3 days later when my body energy is all fixed up. Then I don't have that problem. As you can see, we can actually change the future, even it's kind of like already set. All we got is this post-heaven dimension shoving over a energy pattern, and we're going to repeat that pattern with everything in our life around us. Sometimes your pattern is going to like blend and mix and stuff with other people because you interact with them, and then the result will be a combination of yours and their energy that crash together. And in that dimension one, this energy of yours and the energy of your friend already interacted. And so what you're doing is you're doing what this happened in another dimension, and you just physically do it to demonstrate the same pattern, the same kind of stuff happening. I'm not sure how to really phrase it out as clear as possible, but I hope you understand what I'm saying, okay? So it's like we have, let's say, this world and this world, two worlds, and we are both actually like a mirror doing the same thing. But in my perspective, I am going to do it like physically, like with my hand, with my whatever tool, okay? That's how we do it in this world. The same pattern goes over there. It's like, oh, they are like planets interacting with each other, like that. It's like saying when human want to hit an other human, they will use the fist. This is the action. This is the pattern. Now, how this energy body and this energy hit each other is by beaming over some energy and crash into them. That's how they fight. Okay, so we say, okay, let's look at this. If you see a car and a car is fighting, or maybe animal and animal is fighting, the pattern is fighting, and they just do it differently. Okay, you get what I mean now? It's just like the same pattern happening over and over again, but in different form, different style, different form, according to what they have already on their physical body. Let's say if I am going to fight with another friend, okay, no matter what, I'm going to fight with them. Now, the kind of fighting can turn out differently. I can fight by using words and my mouth to fight. I can fight by taking a knife. I can fight by using my hand. Now that's my decision power, okay? I can fight it, like, it's going to be a fight anyway. You cannot avoid it. It's going to happen. But you can choose to fight differently. You can fight smart or fight dumb. You can fight with armors on. You can fight by using your mouth. You can fight with a smarter way, maybe just typing and fighting with the keyboard, and that will reduce the harm. As you can see, okay, we have these energy that happen to do stuff earlier and faster than how we actually execute the action in this world. We have a kind of like a leg right here, and it's always energy come first, and then the body moves. Now, you can see the same pattern happen right here too. It's very logical. First, you always have intention. After the intention, you have to think and ponder, and then bring your intention to reality, which is to do it. Now, it always starts from nothing, like you're not doing it, okay? Nothing, to making, and then to having, and it's done. So the pattern is like this, but it's not really nothing. It's from, like, if you say it's zero, it's not really zero. This is the point when you have intention. And intention is not nothing. Intention is something. Intention is energy. It's a form of energy. It's a form of whatever you call that. Something. It's something, right? It's just that you cannot see intention. Doesn't mean intention does not exist, right? So also there's also a feeling that can happen before everything else. Like, say, I'm hungry. You feel hungry, and then you go to eat, right? You feel hungry, and then you think about what to eat, and then you go to eat. Now, this feeling, you cannot say it's not existing. It exists. There must be something that is working at the back, some kind of energy form of stuff that is working at the back that made you be able to have that feeling. And it's not like, oh, my organs trigger me to eat. No, it's not like that. It's always your own feeling, your intention that is working. And what that is, and where that is actually in the dimension 1 of yourself. That is your sun, the dimension 1. We call that the energy magic body in our lineage. Now, this is not really like magic, okay? But it's a body of you. It's like your organ. Now, you may say, oh, but how can that be, a big ball of light like that and stuff like that? It's really bizarre. But look, if I say that your organs is actually part of you, can you believe it? If you take your lung and your heart and stuff out, and you look at it, it looks nothing like me. That's right. They're a part of you. It doesn't look like you. It doesn't have to look like you. Because you're only looking in the mirror and then see, okay, this is me. You're only looking at the outside of you. What about the inside? The inside of you looks really not alike with the outside, right? But it's still you, agree? Okay? Now look at the fluids inside you. Can you say the fluid is not part of you? You cannot, right? The intestine, the stuff inside the stomach, the blood, all the stuff doesn't look like you. All of them look very different. Because all you're thinking is, oh, I have like a few bodies, then like duplicate of this guy, and then in the outer world, maybe I'm transparent, and then duplicate this look, and then right here, maybe I'm like all glowing white kind of stuff. Now, that is not true, okay? The other form of you, the other bodies of you, they are actually not looking anything like your body right here. It doesn't look like your body, okay? The D6 body of you is like a bunch of cloudy, foggy energy. And they always just move like the plasma wave, like plasma light in the space. It looks like that. The dimension 1 pre-heaven body, it looks like a glowing ball or egg of light. And the light is like a planet kind of structure. It looks like a planet structure. So the dimension 8 of you right here and the dimension 6, dimension 1 of you here works together. You cannot say that that is not you, that they are all you, because they are part of you, right? So the dimension 1 of you looks like an egg, glowing energy egg. It looks like that, okay? Bunch of energy that glows. Now, dimension 6 is like a plasma wave that moves, okay? Like energy, wave, bulky energy. Now, this one is like this and is not moving, but you do move around. Okay, so it's very unimaginable. But right now you know that you have 3 bodies on the local side. Now, what does all these have to do with divination? Now, divination is not like a random lottery pick. It's not a random pick. It's not like, oh, let me just try to pick a number and see what happens. It's not like that. To do divination, the theory is like this. Okay, this is an example. Bagwa, to book something, means, okay, when we book something, it's like this. We are going to output or project something to see what happened. The best example of bagwa is you have a hole in the ground, big hole, okay? You don't know how deep it will go. You don't know. Now I'm going to toss a rock down there, and then see when I will hear the sound, which means that it hit the bottom. And then now I know, oh, that's the bottom. So the longer it takes to hit that sound, to hit the bottom, to hear the sound, then it means that the hole is very deep. Okay, when I toss it, and after a short time, you already can hear the sound, it means that it's not very deep, right? Everyone knows that idea. So that is exactly what bagwa means. You have some kind of medium that you will project through whatever you're trying to guess or estimate. And then you get a result. And this tiny drop of result, no matter it's sound, light, whatever, let you know that this is the energy pattern. This is the pattern, okay? Pattern. And you can predict what it means. It means, oh, it's deep, oh, it's long, it's far, okay? Anything. Now, we always do these kind of stuff in our human world. For example, we have to test the weather. We have to do weather forecasts. We poke something up there, or we take something, the water, and then test, right? So no matter what it is, like your thermometer, stuff like that, you put something there, and it will give you a result. And the result is done because you pick the right medium. It's like your thermometer, okay? You have that mercury stuff inside, the red stuff. Now you put this stuff outside, and why? Why? When you see it raise so much, it equals that many degrees. It's because a lot of people before you actually measure the properties of this element that they used inside the thermometer. And then now they know by how many degrees in the air, like the temperature, it will raise that much. Okay? And then the user right now, you just take that tool, put it there, and then you can see, because someone did the hard work for you. They already did the hard work to find out the like how fast this thing will go up, and then how much equals how many degrees. They already did the math before you, and you just use that product. Okay, this is one good example of how human is doing this bagwa themselves. They're booking the weather. They're booking, like not English, okay? Book as in the Chinese word book, okay? So they're trying to forecast because they have this medium that they can toss out, which is the thermometer. Now, you can also test other things. For example, you can test how deep the water is by, let's say, having a rope, and then you take a rock tied to it and toss it down, and then when it reaches the bottom, you can feel that, and then pull it back up, and you see how, oh, that's like 54 feet, something like that. You can test the water too. You can test a lot of stuff. Anything in this world can be tested when you toss out something to reach this object physically, right? Okay, you want to test fire to see how hot that skillet is. You put your palm above it, see, you try to reach, and then until a point, whoa, some heat coming up. Then you estimate how hot it is, right? Very easy, very easy. Now, in order to see our future, you need to test what? You need to test by banging into the D1, which is what creates our future. You see, we are affected by this D1, the pre-heaven dimension. This energy body world with many other energy bodies and energies in the nature there affecting us. And this is part of us, okay? Part of your body is there. And so everyone is banging around each other. It's like a bunch of molecules banging on each other, having lots of interaction. If we want to know what's the next step for us right here will be like, we need to shove something into this D1 and then test and see the result of what the result that will happen at this time. I want to shove it into D1 and then see, okay, this pattern. And I don't want the pattern to apply on me. I want this pattern to have a little sample that will happen to show up maybe in a bunch of coins, or maybe, in some sticks or something like that. I want the pattern to show up in a bowl of rice. So now I will have to have the ability to make this object that I'm going to use as a medium to push through what we call the D9. Because with the 9th dimension, we are in the eighth dimension, the physical dimension. 9th dimension is where you can go through this 9th dimension and it will go back to the D1. Okay, you have to go through 9 to 1. Now, in order to push through this D9, you need a lot of energy, focus, and concentrate it with your body right here. And you can say it's concentration, but it's not really concentration, because your normal concentration, your normal non-cultivated concentration is very weak. You're not supposed to break through that D9 gap and go back to control your own D1. You're not supposed to do so as a normal human being. Now, who can do these things? D9 is where our sun, like it's accumulating. What we mean by sun, like is like the Jing Hei Sun, the theory of Jing Hei Sun. Jing, the essence. Hei, the essence creates this energy. Sun is your energy get condensed and then it changes into another form and creates power. Number 9 is what we call the Gao Ji Sun. Like this is your power of change. And this is not a normal kind of energy everyone will have enough to shove it back to control your own D1, because that is a big gap. And so you need to have a storage or a place to cultivate a much stronger D9 energy. And this D9 energy, like, okay, right now, okay, if you think about something, you want something to happen, it's not going to happen, right? Okay. Now, let's say you always try to like visualize, and then you try to focus and concentrate on making something to happen in reality in the future. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's like daydreaming. But if you can store up all your focus, concentrated energy, all that energy, and also, of course, more condensed version of the energy, you want to store that up in some place, somewhere. And then later on, you can grab it and inject that energy to some medium, let's say a coin, a bunch of sticks, whatever it is, okay? Now you can use that as a medium to shoot an energy beam to your D1, to the direction that you want to test. And now we have this medium that can test the energy in D1. And then it bangs, 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 and come back right away to show you the result. And by doing so, you can have a result that shows you, oh, this is the energy pattern. And now you understand. You understand according to your question of what you're trying to test. Now you understand the pattern, and you understand what will happen according to this pattern. You can really easily and logically interpret. Now, I don't want you guys to watch this video and it feels like you didn't learn anything practical. So I'm going to teach you the pattern, the most basic, simple pattern in the universe. And this pattern is pretty simple. Now, you can take an hourglass and understand the pattern. There goes the hourglass. Okay. Now, the most basic pattern is what we call the Sam law, the Sam law principle. What happened is in the very first stage of how all the stuff is created. This is basically a tri-system, a three system. We call this the Tin, Dai, Day. Okay, Tin translate to sky, Day translate to the ground, and Dai is the big. Now, it makes no sense to you right now, but look. The Tin, the top section, we call that, okay? It's always a resource pool. You have resources coming down to this center. Now, this center point is the spark up point. It's like where things start, okay? It's like the start button. You click, and then it will start moving. Now, when it moves down here, the Day, okay, this section, it will accumulate, and it will also digest the stuff, and then breaks down the stuff. Okay, right here, it will keep accumulating stuff, and then it will come here, and then goes down here, and it will start doing and processing. So this is like the resource pool. The top is the resource pool. Okay, always things are not really doing yet. No, nothing's created yet. It's just blending elements, blending the resource pool. Like that. Ready stage. Now, when it gets to here, this is the making stage. It made something, create something. After it's created, it goes down to be consumed, to digest, and to continue to process until it's finished. After it's all processed and goes out, the system will go back to air or energy, okay, and then it goes back here. And then it will come down again and blend in with the resources, okay? So basically, this is the three system. Top, medium, low, okay? Now look at your body. The top is always like here and up, okay, top. You can really kind of understand how it works, okay? Now the top is all your gathering of information. Your eyes, ears, nose, all gathering these wind, light, air, all that stuff. And then your mouth intake the stuff, intake and process stuff. Okay, elements comes in, food and stuff, and it goes down. Okay, now after all these things come down, when it goes to here, it's where everything starts to create. You see your stomach right here, okay, and also the pump, the heart, all the stuff, the vital stuff is here. The stuff that makes you alive, the things that create and stuff is all here. When it goes down below, this is the shit making system. The job is to take what is created and go down and start absorbing, and it breaks down. And when it's all done breaking down, you poop. Okay, you pee and poop. And these things go back to nature, which is the dimension or the world that your top system gets stuff from. Okay? And then later on, these things that you poop out will go through a cycle around you, maybe to a farm, to the soil, something like that, nourish the ground, and then it will bring out better food, and then you can look around and the food comes in again, okay, the information, the food comes in again, and then it just repeats. We are a processor. We are a processor. Human and the beings, we are all a processor in nature. And that is the most basic principle. Now, how does this thing will be so practical on the bagwa, the divination? Now I'll show you. Let us take a bagwa, for example. Okay, this bagwa. Now this is a bagwa gang, but you can see without the mirror in the center, you can see the bagwa around here. Okay. Now, what does these three strokes really mean? When you look at the I-ching and the bagwa and stuff, everyone is trying so hard to memorize, and they have to bring a book. Now, what if you don't have a book? You're going to be dead, okay? So that means that you don't understand I-ching at all, because you're just a book fans. You're a follower. You're just copying this stuff. You don't understand what it means. That's why you need a book. For true master, you don't need a book. Now, if you really understand, you don't really need a book too. All these lines are just simply, one is connected line, one is a broken line, okay? Now, you have to understand how nature works. Human being, okay? Look, when we are like inside the mom's tummy and not born yet, okay? We're inside there. We have this cord coming from the belly and up, and it attached to the mother, okay? We're connected. This is the yang stage. We're connected to the mother. We're connected, right? So you keep on being fed and being fueled by these things, and you don't move. You just sit and get nourished and wait. Okay, this is the stage that is like with one straight line, not broken. You see, the cord connects you and your previous stuff together, so it's connected. But it like stuff is coming in, okay, good stuff coming in, food, whatever, okay, all that stuff's coming in and it's feeding on. But it's not really doing anything much. Now, when you get the cord cut, it means that you're born. Pretty much you're ready to become a baby, okay? So it means that when you cut that line, life starts. You start to you start to go on a different destiny. When it's in the yang stage, when it's like this, okay? You have your cord connected to your mother, right? Now, what is your destiny? your destiny, like when is your finish point? Your finish point is when you get that thing cut, right? You come out and come into this world. Good. Now you come into this world. That's the finish of that stage, right? Because the whole thing is done. You finish. Now, this point when you cut is the point that marks your journey of that stage is over. Okay? So you can pretty much see when it's in this stage, okay, the fully connected line stage, the whole plan, the whole game plan, the destiny is to be born. Okay? You want to be born. You want to be born and get alive. Okay? You want to be born. Now, when you get this cut, your destiny changed. Many people cannot accept it, but the problem is you have a different destiny. When you get this, okay, your life changed. You're alive. Now you're done with the first game, okay? Now, second game is your destiny is to die. That's right. That is the yum, the broken line right now. See? Broken. So now we're going to die. Okay? So when you're going to die, it's not like, oh, you're dead the next day, okay? I mean, you have a whole long time to die out. And before you actually die out, you have to actually get yourself nourished, pumped up, and blossom, from the baby, toddler, teenager, and then adult, and you fully blossom as a very strong adult, like in your 30s or something like that. And then after a few years of fully blossom, just like flower, you will go and cripple. Everyone goes through the same kind of stuff. And when you get old, right, like that, that's what happened. So it's like you have this point of you are going to die later on. But it's just like when, okay? You can split it into two parts. One part is when you are pretty much just born and a baby kind of stage, baby to teenager. This stage is when you are disconnected, but then you are also being fed and keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? When you reach that point where your body starts to go flip and then the whole game starts to go like that, then you change the destiny. You change, right? Right now you're not going to grow anymore. You're going to go get destroyed. That's how it works. When you're all destroyed, you die, okay? And then you will start again. Your energy of you, the energy of you will cycle from nothing and grows again. So your energy cycle to another world, another being, and you cycle again, okay? Just like flowers, trees, everything goes through this kind of cycle. Now, when you see the bagwa, the broken lines and stuff, remember we said the top, medium, low section, right? Let us pick one out of the many to play with. Okay, the most simple one is the top with 3 lines connected. Okay, 3 lines connected. What does it mean? This is the king gua, but what does it mean? Every line, every system is connected. It's like when the baby is still inside the stomach of the mother. So everything is connected. It means that nothing is actually moving. So it's like, oh, this is a good stage because you're going to have a lot of potential because everything is connected and the potential is there. It's coming, right? The potential. Now, what does this 3 broken line say? Broken line, okay? 3 broken line. It means the top, everything is done. Okay? Everything is broken. It's done. So everything is pretty much done. And people think that, oh, shoot, that means that I'm going to die soon because your next station is going to death. But then it's also good if you have this kind of situation. If you were talking about something like, for example, a lawsuit, okay, you want the lawsuit to die out, or you want something to finish, that this is a good stage. It's not like, oh, it's a death, it's negative, it's bad. No, it's not bad. It depends on what you're trying to do your bagwa about. Say, if you're trying to I want to see when this guy's going to get away from me, and then you have this one. It means that he's gone already. Wow, good. Now let's say we have another gua right here. Okay, the top is connected. the middle is disconnected, and then the bottom is connected. Okay, so only the middle line is broken. Okay, middle line is broken. What does it mean? This is the lei gua. Okay, lei gua. This gua right here, this symbol, it means that the center line, the creation line, started, and then you have the resources line is connected. It's pumping in resources. Good. Resources is ready, coming in, and the creation line, spark already. Okay, it started. Something started already. It's alive, and then the ground, the processing line, is connected. So that means that it's started and it's ready to move on to the next stage to get into process. So this is the spark line, the sparking moment of, oh, bang, this is started. It happened, and there's a lot of potential to whatever is coming up later on, because you don't know. It's not processed it yet. It just started. Something just started, like a baby got born. Very happy. Okay, so this is the meaning of that gua. Now the opposite, we have this one. Opposite is the top and bottom broken, but the middle line is connected. Okay, the middle line is connected. Now what does that one mean? Now it means that your resources is cut. Your processor is cut. Okay, so what does it mean when it's cut? It means that it cannot flow. Nothing's flowing in anymore. But it also means that it started. Okay, it started. Now the middle one is connected, meaning that the starting line, the spark line, is it's connected. So you're not starting anything, but you're processing stuff, and the resources is not coming in anymore. So that means that you're actually, stuff is actually pushed in already, and it's in the transferring process. It's coming down. Okay, resources is not coming down anymore from the top. You're not starting anymore, but this started right down below. So this system right here, the processing system, is digesting. Just like saying, we're not eating anymore. Okay, there's no more food outside, but my tummy is now doing its work. That's what it means. Now, if you understand the bagwa, you just look at the three lines, and basically it tells you everything already. You see, top, medium, bottom. Very simple, right? If you understand the bagwa, I-ching is what? It's just 6 lines. It's basically 6 lines. So if you actually understand the theory, you can actually look at it like this. With the top and the bottoms, 3 and 3, right? Split them apart. The center line is what we call the creation line. This is when things happen, okay? So if I am saying how is like this, how is this interview is going to turn out? I got 6 lines as my result. Now you cut the stuff in 2. It means that the top, okay, is before you go to the interview, before creation, before happening. The bottom means after creation, after you're done, and what will come next. So that is basically how you can reference to the same thing, and the decoding is basically the same. So let's say before you go to the interview, right? The symbol shows that, oh, you're having a lot of resources coming in, but nothing started, nothing is digesting. So basically, it's like, okay, right now it's a good stage to, you know, keep getting more resources, maybe doing research and stuff. And then after happening, you got this symbol maybe saying your resources is cut, your creation is cut, the processing is connected. Wow, it means that things started, and you are having potential to do stuff with this company, meaning that it's good, it's going the good way, right? It depends. So that is how these lines can be easily interpreted without memorizing anything. And you know what? Those books, names, and all those poems and stuff is all bullshit. They are, like, first of all, the interpreting guy is always wrong. The ancient text is not complete when they found it. And then the thirdly is most of the time you don't even understand what you're reading. So why bother? Now you understand this theory. The whole book of I-ching is inside you in just less than 5 minutes. You just look and analyze. Now it's like you got the essence right now, but you don't know how to apply it yet, because it takes time to practice, to get the hang of it, and, you know, maybe listen to how I teach really, and then you will understand more, and wow, it just unpacks. But now you know that there's no memorizing required. You just need to know three things: resource, creation, digestion. That's what it means. Top, medium, low. And then broken and non-broken lines, you know already, right? So that's how it works. That's how you can interpret the bagwa, I-ching, whatever it is. And why six line? Because in the creation theory of like how nature creates things, it's always in a cycle of 9 stages. And 6 line, meaning that 3 lines is in the teen stage, is in the resources stage. 3 lines is basically for the creation stage. And then 3 line lower is for the done stage. There's consume and break down and finishing stage. So the I-ching you see right now is the 6th line. It means that it's going to give you a basic outline of how things are going to happen. But if I do a I-ching divination with 9 lines, you can also see what's coming after. But because that, it hasn't happened yet. So you're trying to guess something that hasn't happened yet is pretty impossible. But the energy that is already happening, something that exists already in the other world, you can kind of get it. So if you get 6 line, you'll pretty much know what's coming up. If you try the 9 lines, you get a rough estimation for the final stage, which is often it's a big variable there, because you have your own decision power to change the future. So those 3 lines are not very accurate. So we often don't use the last 3 lines. Just use the 6 up there. Okay, so basically you can see how it works. And it's very, very simple, very easy to do. Now, all those methods, like the straws, the coins and stuff, they're all just different kinds of tools. But if your tool is just an ordinary coin, ordinary straw, it will not work. Because why? Because your divination tool is not a magical tool that can push through and direct the beam to whatever you want to forecast. It's like saying you have a chopstick at home, and can you use the chopstick, just any random stick, to go out and test the temperature? You cannot. Because it's not the right medium. It's not attuned. It's like you just grab some mercury from a bottle. It's not supposed to do the job, and you put it into a normal plastic tube and you try to take it outside and see if it can test the temperature. It won't work. You need something that is attuned to do the job. So, in conclusion, you need special tool. The tool must be attuned and must be activated and cultivated to strengthen this tool's energy in order for you to beam the energy to where you want to beam in the dimension 1. And then when you can beam, the dimension crash onto something in dimension 1, came back with a result. That's how it works. And it doesn't take any time. It's almost instant, because that's how it works. The dimension 1 and dimension 9, and like how this works, is almost instant. The transaction is instant. It's very fast. How fast? Let me tell you. You can try yourself too. Okay? Right now, I want you to close your eyes and you want to think of the planet Sun. You can instantly think about it. Instant, the sun image pops up, right? This is what we call Lim Lek. Lim Lek is like not your imagination power. It's your it's a power that is generated by your memory or your whatever, the feeling, intention. When you want to see the sun, you can see the sun. It's inside your brain here, right? Inside. Now, it doesn't mean that the physical sun came to you, but a part of that energy from the sun has already interacted with you. And that is why the visual came out. Sometimes, if I say, okay, now you're going to close your eyes, you want to visualize a teddy bear. Okay, my teddy bear. I'm going to show you my teddy bear, and then you're going to visualize mine. Now, when you close your eyes, you cannot visualize it. Somehow the vision just cannot come out. You don't know why. Well, because you don't have the energy from my bear. You don't have enough, or you cannot reach out from your end to hit the energy here, and that is why it doesn't come up. It's not like, oh, that is all my imagination. I can imagine aliens too, and whatever, okay? It's not like that. It's not like a fake visualization. I'm talking about like You want to visualize someone. Sometimes you just cannot do it. When you try to do it, the vision will come weird. The vision will not show up. It's like that. It's a honest inside thing that you know is it real or not. When you can visualize something solidly, it pops up in front of you. That is the success of you can punch through the D9 to the D1 of that thing. And because of that hit, you get one little cell or whatever you call that, the essence. You get one of these, and that is why it can recreate the vision inside your memory. It's the interaction of this energy in the pre-heaven world that made it happen. And a lot of people cannot do visualization of stuff clearly because that stuff, basically, your energy cannot bang that far and bang to that place, and so it cannot come up. Now, the same thing happens to the tool. Now, we're not talking about ourselves now. We're talking about this tool. The tool does not have a brain or does not have any life, okay? So it's a dead tool. You need to input your essence into here. And then so that it can do the same thing as when you visualize and do all that stuff. And then this can be used in a magic way to punch through this D9 and then go to D1 and get a result and then give you some kind of stuff showing in this world. And then we have to program to this thing to say, okay, if it's like this or like this, it means different things. In our ruler, we have to program the whole thing in. Just like you get this thermometer, right? You have to program by giving it a ruler or something like numbers or lines to say, okay, this high is equals that number. This high is equals that number, right? We also have to do it with our stuff. Why don't you have to do it with these things, okay? Now with the coins and stuff, it's the same. You have to program the stuff into the tool. If you just take some random coin, it's not going to work. It's a random draw. It means nothing. Now you need to have the magic to program these tools. Okay. For example, I have. This is what we call a team. Okay. It's a bunch of sticks only, some wooden sticks with some numbers marked on it. Now, when you just buy a bottle of these, it's not going to do anything. Okay. You need to program. You need to empower. You need to put stuff, energy into it. Okay. You need to put your magic power into it, and then you need to cultivate this thing, program this thing by drawing stuff over it and stuff like that. After it's programmed, then now it's like a thermometer with the readings. Now you have the program inside. Then when this thing try to bang the energy to another thing in the pre-heaven dimension, it comes back and will show you the result that you want. And if you do not know a lot about how nature works and all these principles and stuff, then you cannot program anything into it. It's like when you don't know about math, you don't know about how whatever Celsius and stuff. How can you program if you don't know, right? You need to know the theory, the principle of nature in order to program. If you don't, it's not going to be, happening. So in our lineage, for example, okay, we have these programmed to, they will be programmed like the knowledge, the wisdom, are compact into an essence form. And this essence hold all the programs, all the knowledge, all the wisdom. And what is this essence? The essence is cultivated into, let's say, a spell. Okay, a spell. And the spell is like a carrier that can carry this essence and reprogram and slap it onto the tool. So when a student, a disciple learn the spell and get the stuff from us, okay, the essence. They can use the same spell without learning all that stuff themselves, and then they can be the consumer. They can take the spell and slap it on this thing, and now it will work. Because someone did the hard work for you. It's like someone already print and design the label for your thermometer. Now you just take the label or click the file and click print, and now you slap it on here, and there it goes, it works. That's why you need a lineage to learn a proper and accurate divination method. Because the whole thing is actually magic. It's about energy work, not a random draw. If your stuff is all about like formulas and stuff, it's fake. It's useless. It's garbage. Because all these formulas are just a way of how to execute the magic. And you can change your formula. Seriously, like this is just, it just looks more Chinese, that's why I use it. I can go to my bucket of rice and take some rice, and then I can get a plate and sprinkle rice on it and get my divination result. I can get a bunch of leaves outside and then do my magic with it and toss it on the ground and get my magic result. It doesn't matter. I can use tarot cards, I can use a paper card, I can use a book, I can use incense stick, I can use my pea to do divination. I can use everything to do divination. If you understand what you're doing, the method is not important. The method is a medium. But you know that like the knowledge is what makes the medium make sense and works. It's like saying, okay, you understand about how hourglass work. Okay, hourglass is like this. Okay, you have this thing and one compartment, and basically just roll down. Okay, you know how it works, right? Very simple. Now you're trying to recreate the whole hourglass with something else. Well, if you know how our hourglass works, you can replace the glass with acrylic. You can replace the glass with something else, okay? And then after that, okay, there's stuff inside here, maybe silicone, whatever it is. You can use, instead of sand, you can use a gel, or you can use some kind of liquid. Even some guys on YouTube are using mercury for it, liquid metal. Wow. See? Because you understand the anatomy and how nature works, then you can pick different mediums to recreate the result. It doesn't really matter what kind of method you use. Now, those people who are still fiddling with their straws, whatever, those bamboo sticks, and some people are trying to like, okay, you need to clamp it with this hand and then this hand and all that stuff. Those are not it, okay? They're not really what it is. You're wasting your time doing it. Because you know why? Because the whole thing is, your tool is not attuned. The tool is not programmed. You have a bunch of text, you're referring to books, but you don't understand the anatomy of the whole thing. You don't understand the real meaning of bagwa because you don't understand the foundation is like this. A lot of people are trying to refer the yang to like the binary code, 1 and 0, but it's wrong. It's wrong. Why? 1 and 0 is not the yin and yang. People are like this, okay? The yin is 0, yang is 1. So a lot of people think that the yin and yang is 1 and 0, but it's not. When you want to say that, okay, 1 is equals to yang, is the connector line. 0 is the yin, is broken line. It's wrong. Because whenever there's a yin and yang, there's always in the center, there's a creation line. There's a line where it sparks between yin and yang, the two opposites. It's like between when you're in your mother's coming down and then when you're going to die. There's always a center line. That is the 0. The yin is actually the negative. The more accurate reference or the more accurate example of this is when you look at the anatomy of atom. Okay, the proton, neutron, and the electron. +1, 0, -1. That is a more precise or more like it kind of example, not the binary code. So the bagwa, the I-ching, you don't understand what it is. You don't understand the anatomy, the principle of nature. Then everything becomes useless. So the proper way, the correct way to learn the real divination and to get more accurate with the divination, you will need to learn the magic and cultivate the magic. This whole thing is actually magic. It's not math. Math itself is also just a tool. Math without the stuff behind is useless. It's like saying, okay, physics, science is all just math. No, it's not. It's the science knowledge, the experiment and the fiddling around with elements on Earth, putting together by using math as a medium to make sense out of the whole thing. If you want to just use math, a random formula, to deal with I-ching or the bagwa, you're not going to make it. You're not going to understand what it means. But if you learn under a lineage, you start cultivating, you start go through a lot of experience of other things, you will understand a lot more, because there's a lot more stuff to learn. And I can tell you that it's not easy. Because learning magic is not like, oh, you just hope things can work and you do this, this, this. No, 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 no. There's a lot of theories behind, the wisdom behind why and why and why. There's a lot of reasons behind things. And you need to learn. Just like I explained the 3 system, yeah, that is a very basic start, but there's a lot more to it. And you need to dig into the system and stuff to understand everything in order for your divination tool to get stronger, and which means that it can reach out further away. It can predict things more accurately. It can aim that beam of energy that you're trying to shoot out and project to other places more accurately. If you just try to say take a newbie activated tool and you want to beam that outside, what happened is the beam is not going to go very far, so it cannot touch the target much. It just touched somewhere near the target, so your divination results will not be as accurate. Maybe your own beam is very tiny and very shaky too, then your result is not right. Right? So there's a lot of factors that involve the cultivation of magic, the cultivation of this energy, the pre-heaven energies, and also the cultivation of your tool that you're using, and then the cultivation of the knowledge and wisdom packing up into your brain and your mind that actually gives that ruler for your divination to come out. Because all that stuff is doing is a medium trying to bring out a result according to your standard, your ruler. If you change, like if you don't have the stuff inside here, then the standard is not going to be very accurate because the ruler is shaky. Okay, all these variables, they're not divine and stuff. So no matter what kind of medium it is, be it a card or whatever, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is you need to understand this bagwa stuff is not about like asking some kind of spirits and stuff like that. It's a work of using energy to impact on other energies in an other dimension that actually is the dimension which will create our future. Because of these energy pattern, this world will happen like this. So we take something from here and shift it over there and hit, and then we will see something that a sample of this pattern from this medium. We analyze the sample, understand the sample, and we know according to the sample, this pattern should happen for whatever you're trying to forecast. That's how it works. That's the main thing about divination. The whole thing is about this. So if you don't have your cultivation with the energy and stuff, what are you going to use? Just normal focus, concentration is not going to make it because it's not cultivated. It's too weak. You can't do it. And the thing is, when you ordain into, like, say, our lineage, okay, you will be given support from the lineage. The lineage will give you power support. When you do things, you have support. And a lot of things are already programmed in stuff, like the spells, symbols. They're all programmed, pre-programmed to make your life much easier because you have just that little time in life. You cannot learn so much all of a sudden. So that the master of you, the people before us, program the stuff into essence form. And when you learn it, you can basically take the tool or the essence, which is like the spell and stuff, or the symbols, just smash it onto your physical object, and there you go, it works. You don't need to learn and go through all that stuff again to make your own scratch program, because it's already done by people in the lineage before you. And now you only need to learn how to use and then to analyze. Just like saying we're buying computers right now, we don't need to make computers because someone already made it. For us, the magic people, we already cultivated and know a lot. And these things are compact into shortcuts for the people afterward to learn. And your job is to take these things, apply it on the medium or the tool, and then analyze, learn to analyze the result. It's basically the same thing happening in this world. We are always doing the same thing. people are inventing tools. We are the consumer. We take tools and use the tool. It makes our life much easier because someone did the hard work. Nothing is going to happen if no hard work is done. Now, if you just take some random straws and stuff, the stuff you buy online, and you try to do your coin and stuff, divination, there's no hard work done. There's nothing. How can it work? Right? Nothing is done. This is not a magic tool. It's an ordinary decoration piece of garbage. It doesn't work. So, to be honest, if you want to learn these things, you have to learn magic. You have to get ordained and stuff. So if you want to learn these things for real, and you want to, like, let's say, okay, I like this guy right here, okay, and you want to learn from him, sure. You can email us and get ordained and start, and you can tell us that you want to learn these things specifically, and we can teach you and guide you through that direction. But just by knowing it, without the cultivation of the power, without all that cultivation, you're not going to make it. Just knowing the knowledge is fun, but in order to do it and really have a accurate or some forecast that actually worked, it's not easy. It's not a random draw out of the box, that kind of stuff. You need to have the power, cultivate it, in order for it to work. Okay, so basically that's it for today, and that's the myth that I busted. In the future, I'll explain more theories and the principles of stuff, and you can see me doing it, and it will make more sense to you if you actually listen to more lectures. But in this lecture, at least you understand the basic of the bagwa, and you can look and understand already the 3 system, okay, and all the 8 or 64 symbols are all yours right now. And also you understand that this book of Change the I-ching is really pretty useless if you buy the book right now. Useless. Now you understand already. You can create your own book, okay? So that is really cool. But anyway, here we go. That's how it works. So we'll see you next time. And remember to subscribe, like, comment below. And also, don't forget to go to our Patreon to give us a pledge to support us. And let us produce more nice videos like this. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.